Have you ever met someone who genuinely enjoys being alone? Not lonely, not depressed, just alone. The person who skips parties, disappears for days, feels relieved when plans get cancelled. Who can spend an entire weekend by themselves and feel completely fine? Most people assume something is wrong with them. Psychology suggests something far more interesting, because people who prefer solitude aren't usually running away from others. They're running towards something, and that something almost always begins much earlier than anyone realizes. Here's what most people never think about. When we're children, we're supposed to learn one fundamental thing: that other people are safe. When we're scared, confused, overwhelmed, we turn towards someone, a parent, a trusted adult, someone who meets us there. And when that happens consistently, the brain learns. People are comfort. Go toward them. But not every child learns that lesson. Some children reach out and find criticism instead of comfort. They're vulnerable and find rejection instead of safety. They ask for help and find disappointment instead of support. And the brain, which is extraordinary at protecting us, adapts immediately. If people are unpredictable, find something that isn't. Solitude. Solitude doesn't judge. It doesn't reject. It doesn't need anything from you. And once the brain makes that association, once it files solitude under safety, it becomes the default. Not a preference, a protection. Here's the part that surprises most people. The person who prefers to be alone usually doesn't dislike people at all. They enjoy deep conversations. They care enormously about the people they let in. They're not avoiding connection. They're avoiding the specific exhaustion that comes when connection has historically cost them something. Their nervous system isn't antisocial. It's just honest about what it learned, and that learning shows up in adulthood as independence, as self-sufficiency, as someone who seems to need nothing and no one. People around them call it strength. Sometimes it genuinely is, but sometimes independence is just a scar that learned to look like a medal. Here's what actually matters though. Preferring solitude isn't a problem. Some of the most creative, thoughtful, and self-aware people on the planet spend enormous amounts of time alone. The question was never whether you enjoy solitude. The question is why. Is it energizing you? Or is it protecting you from something that still feels unsafe? Because those are two completely different things. And the distance between them is usually a child who just needed someone to show up consistently and slowly, quietly learn to stop waiting.